These headphones have a compact, lightweight design and ear cups that swivel to accommodate different monitoring styles. We're taking a look at the HDJ-S7 from Pioneer DJ. These are on-ear headphones that pack new, high-definition drivers that Pioneer DJ claims are capable of playing back high-resolution audio. In a way, they're a successor to Pioneer DJ's own HDJ-C70, which also were on-ear headphones, though it improves on a number of features which we'll get into later on. Let's start with an overview of these cans. The HDJ-S7 is the latest model in Pioneer DJ's current DJ headphone range, which consists of the HDJ-X10, HDJ-X7, and HDJ-X5. Those models have big ear cups that fit around your ear, creating a seal between the ear pad and the side of your head. The main difference is that the HDJ-S7 has smaller ear cups that sit on top of your ear instead. That means they're less bulky compared to the HDJ-X models. Some DJs prefer these because they're more comfortable to use for extended periods. The HDJ-S7 is made predominantly of a matte plastic, so they're quite light, plus they've got rubber accents at the ear cup shells for a better grip. One of the biggest design advantages of the HDJ-S7 over the previous HDJ-C70 model is that the ear cups now swivel, allowing for a variety of monitoring styles without putting added strain on the headband, which was an issue for some DJs, myself included. My HDJ-C70 snapped near the left ear cup after I used them extensively for a few months, so it's nice to know that Pioneer DJ fixed that problem by adding swivel cups here. The HDJ-S7 has a detachable cable and it ships with two cables, one straight and one coiled. It also comes with its own zippered clamshell case that's got compartments for thumb drives, SD cards, and of course the headphones themselves. The biggest plus of the HDJ-S7 is how comfortable they are when you're using them. Compared to other DJ headphones with full-size ear cups, these are much lighter in comparison to the point that you kind of forget that they're after a while. Kind of like how a bird perches on a tree branch. That's probably the closest analogy I can think of in terms of how delicate these feel on my head and ears. Another plus is that these just look really cool. They've got a muted elegance to them, similar to the TMA2s from III. Very mature and minimalist, and if that's the kind of aesthetic you're going for, well, you're gonna love these. Now for the sound. The HDJ-S7 is quite decent. There's a lot of bass considering how small they are, the mids are clear, and the highs aren't so shrill. Comparing it to something like the HDJ-X10, you kind of begin to realize though that these are smaller headphones. You get relatively less bass plus a relatively lower output. The sound distorted at volume levels that the HDJ-X10 could handle without breaking a sweat, for instance. That's to be expected with smaller speaker drivers. You just can't fight the laws of physics, unfortunately. Speaking of speaker drivers, Pioneer DJ says the brand new drivers on the HDJ-S7 are capable of reproducing sounds from 5 Hz all the way up to 40 kHz, earning them the high-res audio specification. That doesn't necessarily mean that the sound is better compared to DJ headphones that aren't high-res audio spec'd, or that you can even hear the extended resolution, for instance. Just keep in mind that high-res audio is used more as a marketing badge than a measure of playback quality. Some DJs will want to know how these sound compared to the Sennheiser HD25. It's not so much that one sounds better than the other, it's just that they have both totally different sonic signatures. The HDJ-S7 has a more in-your-face character, as if the bass and mids are right in front of you, while the HD25 has a more nuanced sound, where the mids sit a bit further back and give more emphasis to the lows. So there's more space in playback. So really, it's apples to oranges, and the bottom line is that both sound good. I've been using the HDJ-S7s exclusively, both for home listening tests and at gigs. I DJ'd at a venue that had challenging acoustics and a rowdy dance floor that was right in front of the DJ booth, and I found myself cranking up the headphone volume knob because the HDJ-S7's on-ear design just didn't block out as much ambient noise. If you've been DJing long enough, you know this isn't ideal for two reasons. One, your ears get tired quicker because of the higher volume, and you risk waking up the next day with really bad ringing in your ears. And two, you're pushing your cans a lot harder than usual. That's not such a big problem if your headphones can handle them, but as I said, the HDJ-S7 had a tendency to distort at higher playback volumes. Granted, you probably won't listen to music at home or while you're practicing at that level, but when you're at a gig and you need a bit more juice, even just for a few seconds, the HDJ-S7 struggled and the sound started getting a bit mushy. Again, it's just one of the more general drawbacks of having smaller speaker drivers on board. The Pioneer DJ HDJ-S7 is for DJs who prefer smaller headphones that are more comfortable to use for extended sessions. Those creature comforts come at a cost though. It struggles a bit sound-wise when put in more demanding live performance situations, although it really does make up for that in comfort as well as convenience. Other alternatives include the Sennheiser HD25, which is around $50 cheaper, or the III TMA2 modular headphones, which you can fit out with beefier speaker drivers and larger ear pads if you like. Overall, the HDJ-S7 is a decent pair of compact headphones that should be on your short list if you're in the market for a new pair of cans this year. So that's it for this talk-through video. I've got the full review over at the Digital DJ Tips site. I've got the link to that in the description box below. Hit the thumbs up and like buttons and share this with your friends and your online enemies. My name is Joey. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to see you next time.